I want to talk quickly about Durant, and I know we got to talk Super Bowl.
Please do.
There's a story that came out a couple days ago, and it was Wojnarowski's new website, where it was a two-pronged story about Durant, the Warriors planning for Durant, and then another article about how they could make it happen cap-wise. All due respect to that site and the reporting, I thought that was one of the most ludicrous stories I've ever read. Because for this reason, the Warriors are 45-4.
Yes.
Why the hell would they mess with anything? They're not thinking about next year. They're not thinking about Durant. I think it's absurd. I just don't believe it. I don't believe anyone on that team, in the locker room, in the front office, anyone who owns the team is thinking anything other than let's keep this together. This is a once-in-a-generation team. They're not thinking, oh, you know what we should do is get rid of Harrison Barnes and renounce Sean Livingston and renounce Festus Ezeli and trade Andre Iguodala and get Kevin Durant in here. That is the most idiotic logic I've ever heard. I'm not questioning that Wojnarowski wrote the story because he had information. My question is, who's feeding the information? And
I know.
And if I'm on another team, like the Spurs or OKC or the Clippers or the Cavaliers, I'm feeding this stuff to reporters and be like, hey, man, I heard the Warriors are going hard after Durant. Wouldn't you do that if you're one of the other teams? I don't believe anything about this story. I think it's being fed by the other teams, and I think they all have an agenda for it. Your thoughts?
Look, that's exactly the right way. I don't believe one word of it. We're so past the point where there's any legitimate reason to make speculation about where Kevin Durant might go next. The conclusive piece was written before the season started by Zach Lowe. The thing that makes the most economic sense, the thing that and still preserves KD's option, is to re-sign for 1 year.
Yes.
And stay with OKC, with Russie, with Ibaka, and then come out the following year. So it remains the topic du jour, and gets as many looks. And we're at the point in the season where, getting eyeballs on stories that don't involve the games, because the games are only going to take you so far, other than Steph dropping 51. It's complete conjecture, nonsense talk, motivated by interest in silly stories. The one thing we both know for sure, it is impossible to forecast what's going to happen a year and a half from now.
Well, and also, I don't blame them for writing those stories. I think it was smart. They got them some traffic, some attention. You knew idiot ESPN was going to race to talk about it for the next 10 hours and get a whole day of programming about it on all their shows. I never heard anybody, and maybe it happened, I just missed it. I never heard anybody make the point that this was fundamentally idiotic, that the Warriors have a chance to break the Bulls' record for 73 wins. And there is no possible way they're thinking about, hey, I know we're doing great this year. We have a chance to go back-to-back and go 75-7, but how could we get better? It's just idiotic. What are you talking about? Nobody's having that conversation. And if Joe Lacob, the Warriors owner, should come out, he should give a press conference, and he should be like, look, I saw this story, and I am just flabbergasted how stupid it was, because all this stuff's coming from other teams or people who are trying to undermine what we have. All I can tell you is this is the best experience of my life as an owner, as a human being. I would never want to break this up. I hope this goes on forever. I want to re-sign everyone. Why would I break this up? We're about to break the record for best team ever. I'm not breaking this up. Everyone shut up.
He doesn't need to go out and do that. It's not a distraction.
That's what I would do. That's probably why I can't own a team.
I think that's probably right.